Niners fans and Vikings fans, it's about that time. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jade in the Bay. It's a pleasure to always be on with the best fans in the NFL, the faithful, the Niner Empire. Uh, Hopefully, everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully, everyone was able to spend some time with their family, their loved ones. And hopefully, you guys are full. Now you can kick back and watch me and my special guest talk about the Niners and Vikings this Sunday. Two teams vying for playoff position and two teams that have the same record at 5-5. Let's welcome our guest. And first, shout out to everyone watching on Jade and Bay Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thanks for tuning in. This next guest I'm bringing in is a diehard Minnesota Vikings fan. She loves the Vikings, has over 600 subscribers on her YouTube channel. Let's welcome Skoler Jade. What's good?
Hey Jay, what's up? Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to do a little preview here. 49ers Vikings should be a good one.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the game as well. I can't wait. These are two teams that, as I mentioned before, are vying for a playoff berth, standing at 5-5, and the NFL has an extra wild card playoff team this year, so it's really wide open in the NFC. But first, how did you become a Vikings fan, and how long have you been a fan of the Vikings?
I've been a Vikings fan for my whole life, so forever. I think my family definitely played a part in that, but grew up playing sports, always loved sports, and then I'm from Minnesota. I live in Minnesota, so just like Vikings forever. Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I gotta say, what's up to the people in the chat, because without them, I would be talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always great. You know it, Jay, when you have a lively chat. And shout out to you. You first started doing the live streams during the Vikings game this year, right?
I meant to do all of them this year, but I started doing live streaming last year. I kind of dabbled and did a couple of them last year, but I feel like I've evolved since then. So I do all the Vikings games live. I live stream them all. It's fun. I like doing it.
Absolutely. And if you are a Vikings fan and you're currently watching us live, shout out to you. And if you don't know Jade, make sure you check her out on her YouTube and Twitter. All of her social media links are in the description of this video. Make sure you check her out. But let's say what's up to the people in them comments. So first we have Payo time. Someone we know.
What's up, Payo?
What's good? Payo time says, two of my favorite YouTubers. I have to watch on the replay again. Excited to hear you both talk football. Shout out to you, Payo time. Keep working. He's one of the hardest working men in YouTube as far as Rams content. That's for sure.
Yeah, what's up, Payo?
Kimbo, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Kimbo. He says, let's go 49ers fan. And he says, Thanksgiving, everyone. Absolutely. Hope you had an excellent Thanksgiving. Thanks for everyone for tuning in on this special Thanksgiving day. Andre, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Andre. Hopefully you're having a great Thursday night. Well, Jade, why did you decide to start a YouTube channel? How did that come about?
Oh, yes, the YouTube channel. Well, funny enough, the YouTube channel came about after I was in this, or I entered the sports broadcaster idol contest here within a local radio station a couple of years ago. Long story short, I went from top 10 to top 4. I was going to go to the state fair and like battle it out live for first place. And then the winner was going to get like an hour-long slot on their radio station every Sunday morning. Anyway, then the contest got abruptly canceled. Long story short there. Anyway, so some of my friends afterwards were like, you should start a YouTube channel. So that's kind of how it evolved, and now here I am. But it's been fun.
That's a great decision. I can tell by watching your videos, you're very passionate about the Minnesota Vikings. I love your setup you have there in the background. You have one of the greatest musicians ever, Prince.
Yes.
And you have the purple and the lights. I like your setup. I like what you're doing there.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And make sure if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. Let me and YouTube know that you're enjoying the stream. Gotta say, what's good to whose house? Ram's house. He says, what's good, Jay? Have a great holiday. Same to you, man. Same to you. Also, what's good to Towley's Art and Game channel? They say hi, Skoler.
Hey.
Also have 49ers Ultimate Report. What's good?
Oh, what up?
I think
what up?
You did a collab with him yesterday.
Yep.
Sweet.
It was a good time. What up, John Jay?
Shout out to you, 49ers Ultimate Report. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving day. So let's go back to the beginning of the season. I would love to hear what were your expectations for your Minnesota Vikings coming into the season. You know, you got Captain Kirk, you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield, you got great wide receivers, you got talent on defense.
Mm-hmm.
What were you expecting at the beginning of the year?
I'm gonna be honest with you, not a lot. Not a lot. I was not expecting this team to go far and do well. It's been a cluster. It's been a purple cluster, and I predicted the team to go 7-10. So they're 5-5, as we know, now. And there's many games left, so they could definitely surpass that. But I'm not getting my hopes too high because I've seen it with this team before where they do a couple things that are really good. And then they just, yank the rug out from underneath you. So I didn't have very high expectations. Zimmer and Captain Kirky haven't really been getting along. And Dalvin Cook is great, but, the focus of our offense should definitely be like throwing the ball, and Zimmer's a run offensive minded head coach. So I didn't have high expectations, to be honest with you.
and you mentioned that Captain Kirk and Zimmer are not seeing eye to eye.
They haven't been. I mean, in my opinion anyway, and I still think that they're really trying to like push this like narrative that they're like besties, that they're getting along. They openly admitted that now finally this season, I think this is year 4 now for Kirk, that him and Zim finally started having meetings once a week just this season.
Wow. Well, Zimmerman doesn't call the plays, right? Like he's a defensive minded coach.
Yeah.
Yep. So the offensive coordinator calls the run play, pass plays, right?
Yeah, so our offensive coordinator is a 34-year-old. A little nepotism going on there because our old offensive coordinator was his dad. So our new offensive coordinator is Clint Kubiak. So this is his first year ever doing it and never done the job before. So you can only imagine, how that's going to go.
Yeah. No, that's very true. And I didn't mention this to you before the show, but when I was prepping for the show, prepping for the Vikings, I saw Captain Kirk's stats. I nearly fell out of my chair.
Oh my gosh.
18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, holy I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. And especially with Kirk, he loves that. If it looks good on paper, if the stats look good, he loves that. I mean, what player doesn't? But he loves that. Yeah. He's been playing well. I'd like to see it continue.
Yeah, I think the knock on Kirk is he just hasn't been able to put his best performances in the playoffs. Because I think since he's been with the Vikings, this is his fourth year. So he's only won 1 playoff game, I believe.
Yep. So, and that was by luck too, that whole win. But I'd like to see more. I've been really hard on Kirk the whole entire time, and I didn't want him originally, so it's kind of hard to change my mind now. And I'm like, prove me wrong. So if it continues, let it continue. We'll
No, I
see.
dig it. I dig it. And shout out everyone in the chat. If you have any questions for myself or Jade, feel free to leave them in them comments. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I gotta say, what's good to Manuel Martinez? That's a great avatar you got there. He says, "What it do, Jay? It's all good on a Thanksgiving day. Just ate some food, talking about some football. What could be better, Manny?" Gotta say,
day.
exactly. What's good? It would have been even more perfect if I could have tomorrow off, but that's for another live stream.
Oh, damn.
What's good to Roberto? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. He says, "Much love, Jay." Summer Home, what's good? Summer Home says, "Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in." Now we got to talk about the Vikings schedule. You know, you guys are 5-5, and we are the same. I'm gonna pull up the Vikings schedule on the screen real quick. Just looking at you guys' schedule, you know, you start off the season 0-2. You beat Seattle, you lose to Cleveland, then you beat Detroit, you beat Carolina. It's really been a roller coaster of a season.
Totally.
You know, two overtime losses, one overtime win. A lot of your games you've only lost by, you know, one possession. How frustrating has that been as a Vikings fan?
Yeah. I mean, they always do this. They always do this. They always make it like right down to the wire. And that is one of my purple problems with the team too, is like they can't ever just like take the lead and run away with it. They don't ever do that. So they always leave it up to the very last moment. So it's just, a lot of people say it's like heart attack inducing, nail biting, all of the things.
Yeah, it definitely leaves you on the edge of your seat. I've noticed with the Vikings schedule. Now, for the 49ers, I would say we've had our roller coaster of a season as well. We've had multiple injuries on our team. I think we had a 3-game losing streak at one point in the season. It seems like we're kind of turning it back around. We've won our last two straight games. We actually won a home game. We hadn't won a home game in about a year against the LA Rams. So hopefully we can make it 2 in a row against your Vikings. Hopefully.
Oh boy, we'll see. Yeah, I mean the Vikings haven't played very well at home notoriously, like the last couple of seasons either. They've been playing better on the road. We'll see what happens this weekend though.
Yeah. We shall see. APW Sports, what's good? He says, hopefully you guys are having a good Thanksgiving. Same to you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
OYG, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Hopefully you're having a great Thanksgiving night, man. I appreciate your support. So you had mentioned before, you know, the Vikings, you know, they're 5-5. They've had an inconsistent year. They can't put teams away. As far as offensively and defensively, what do you think are the 3 most contributing factors to their, you know, 500 record?
Oh yes. I took some notes. Let me grab them here. 3. You want three offensive things to their record?
Yeah, or what are your? I should say, what are your 3 pressing? What are 3 things that the Vikings have struggled with the most that contribute to that 5-5 record? So it could be.
Oh, their struggles.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yes. Their struggles are, one of them is focusing too much on the run. It's like I always equate it to, during my streams, of like in Mean Girls, like where they try to make Fetch happen. They're trying to make Dalvin happen like way too much. It's like, stop trying to make Dalvin happen every single time. Like, we get it. He's good, but you don't need to have that happen every single time. The kicking woes obviously continue. A lot of people say the Vikings have a kicker curse, and that was one of our losses as well. That was definitely the opposite, though. Our last game, our kicker made it. Here's another note I had too. Actually, well, 2 things. So miming our opponent, I think that kind of goes along with like not putting the dagger in, you know, not taking the lead and running away with it. They really kind of like I said, they mime the opponent. They really do. I wish they would just be the leader for once. And then I also think a difficulty too, especially with Zimmer, because he's so defensive oriented, is that our defense they're getting like quote unquote old. I mean, it just, and there's a lot of injury there, Danielle Hunter. So I think that's a problem too, is our defense is old. They're out there a lot and they're getting tired after a while.
And speaking of Danielle Hunter, I saw he was on IR. Is that a season-ending injury, or is he expected to be back this season? Oh, it is.
No. Yep.
Yep. And I was looking at the Vikings stats, and he actually leads the team in sacks. And credit to the Vikings, they do have 31 sacks, and I believe that leads the NFL in sacks. So you guys do a great job at getting pressure on the quarterback. Will you guys do you anticipate you guys will still be able to get pressure without Everson Griffin or without Danielle Hunter?
Oh yeah, well I was just gonna actually go to Everson Griffin actually now that you mentioned it. Yeah, I mean they've been doing pretty well because there's been a few games. I don't know how many games he's been out now. It's been a couple. It's been a few weeks since he's been out. But yeah, I think Everson Griffin. It doesn't seem like he's gonna be playing. More important things there. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be a problem. And yeah, it might be pretty tough.
Yeah, I heard about that Everson Griffin story yesterday. For those that don't know, just Google Everson Griffin and the article will come up. But yeah, that's very disturbing stuff. And I know he's had battles outside on the field, outside of the football field before. I just hope he gets the help he needs. And honestly, football is his last, priority right now. He's got to get, he's got to get himself together. So, but you said, but I guess, has he been officially ruled out for the game, or is it a game time decision?
No, I don't. The last that I checked and saw, no, I didn't hear that. But I mean, the severity of what was going on. I mean, there were police and mental health professionals at his home, and everything ended, safely. And the team has come out, Zimmer addressed it. And then I watched the general manager, Rick Spielman, he talked about it, and he didn't really, dive into details, but he said that Everson is getting the care that he needs right now. So,
and that's what's most important. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. He gets the care he needs. And one of the things that I noticed on the Vikings is they struggle against stopping the opposing team's run. And this is something that the Niners do really well. The Niners love to run the ball. I think we've gotten back to our identity, especially the last two games. So we struggle against the run as well. The last two games we played our best, but we'll see if we can do that against one of the best running backs in the NFL, and Dalvin Cook. So do you think you guys will be able to slow down our run game?
That was worrisome to me when I was doing a little clickety clacking about the 49ers. Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. And I think that's why this one, the offense, the purple offense, they're going to have to match. They're going to have to, step it up. And especially for, Dalvin Cook too, I can't remember the stat exactly, but it was something about negative yardage, because I would say out of the 10 times that they're trying to run, or Dalvin's trying to run the ball, it works 8 out of those 10 times. The rest of that is loss for yards or back to the line of scrimmage there. So there's been some struggles there. So I think Kirky's going to have to throw the ball. Gonna have to launch it.
And it's funny because our secondary has been banged up this year. Both our starting safeties have been out. Both of them are back now. Jason Verrett, our starting corner, he got hurt week 1. Our secondary has been banged up. Josh Norman is our starting corner. So I think he's past his prime. So that'll be an interesting matchup. And I wanted to talk a little bit about matchups. I'll bring it up now, and I'll also bring it up later on in the show. But the 49ers secondary against, two of the best wide receivers in the NFL, I can't lie, with Thielen and Justin Jefferson. I think they are top 15 in most of the receiving categories. So as you mentioned, this is going to be a high-scoring game, and I think they will.
I think so.
They will have to put their stamp on the game. I think this will probably be like a game in the late 20s, early 30s. But that's going to be an interesting matchup. Our secondary against the Vikings wide receivers. And what type of transition was that? You go from having Stephon Diggs, you trade him, and then you get Justin Jefferson. Like, that's striking gold, right?
Yeah, it's been a smooth transition, honestly. Yeah. That's one of the things that the general manager, Rick Spielman, who I have a big problem with, has done well. So I'm really happy to see that. And we're getting a lot of comparisons to Randy Moss, one of the greatest Vikings of all time. One of the best wide receivers of all time. But, so happy to see how that's turned about. Because I loved Stephon Diggs. I still love Stephon Diggs. Like, Bills Mafia, they're like my number 2, when the Vikings are out because of that. So, yeah, it's really nice to see Justin Jefferson, actually, because there was a lot of rumblings about him, too, about how great he was. And it's nice to see it come to fruition so far.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think Justin Jefferson was a late first-round pick, I believe.
I can't remember. Yeah. I'm terrible with draft stuff, but that sounds about right. Yeah, I know it's first round.
Yeah, and I know he wasn't the first wide receiver taken, so But speaking of wide receivers, got to bring up the man, the myth, the legend. You got to tuck your chain when he's around. That's Deebo Samuel. Have you heard of him? Do you know about Deebo?
Okay. Yeah. So, I'm hearing now about him. Is he the Swiss Army knife that I'm hearing about here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be a problem for the purple. Yeah. He's going to be a problem for sure. Yeah. And it's funny too, going back to the secondary, you saying that the Niners secondary is injured problems. That sounds so similar to the Vikings secondary as well. And a lot of young players too. So
yeah, it's unfortunate. Injuries are a part of the game. We are getting healthier. I think at the right time, we are getting some players back. Linebacker Dre Greenlaw. We're getting D Ford back, so we'll see what they can contribute. But the secondary is funny. We've given up the most defensive pass interference penalties this year. But it seems like they've kind of turned over a new leaf. That's what we hope. But the Vikings offense will give us a great test because you got two of the best wide receivers. But we got Deebo. Deebo, he can run the ball. He can catch the ball.
He can do anything.
Yeah, he can do everything. And he's definitely, I think he is, inching toward a Pro Bowl season. Hell, maybe even an All-Pro season. So he's right behind. I think he might be in the top 3 in the majority of the receiving categories. So Deebo versus Justin Jefferson, Ayuk versus Thielen. That should be a great matchup, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've heard about our fullback, CJ Ham. So that's a secret weapon.
Well, we got Kyle Juszczyk. He's pretty good as well. So
yeah, because most the Vikings they were using CJ Ham a lot. What's that?
I was gonna say most teams don't have a fullback, so that'll be cool to go up against another team that has a fullback. So because most teams don't have
the Vikings they like to use him a lot. They're utilizing during one game. He was the most targeted player, and it's like you have Justin Jefferson. Come on, what are you doing?
I guess Kirk is taking what the defense is giving him, I guess. So
I guess, sure.
That's why he's only throwing 2 interceptions, right?
Yeah, well, the last game he threw 2 interceptions. There was 2 flags. They got reversed, so he lucked out there.
Okay. So the stats don't tell the whole story, I see.
Yeah, but if you're looking on paper, which Kirk loves, they look good. So
absolutely. I gotta say, what's good to JV Just Vibes? He says, "Happy National Lions losing in front of the nation day."
JV, what's up?
Will they win a game this year? That's funny.
I think the Vikings are gonna lose a game against the Lions. Actually,
really? You think so?
Nah, I just have a sneaking suspicion that the Lions are gonna get 1 win versus the Vikings.
And so you guys play the Lions one more time?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And is that in Detroit or Minnesota?
Oh man, I can't. I think it's No, I think it's here.
It's here in Minnesota. Okay.
I think so. It's 12-5. So it's after this week.
After this one. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
Hall, what's good? He says, hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. David, what's good? He says it's Niners all day. Absolutely.
All day.
JV says Minnesota radio missed out big time. Jade would have been a great hire for them. I agree.
Thank you.
But good thing, but good thing she started a YouTube channel so we can get to know her, on the ground floor, not when she's all the way at the top of the building,
Yeah, that's funny.
49ers Lakers, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. What's good, JR? How you doing? He said he's giving us a early prediction. He's got the Niners winning 33, Minnesota 18.
Wow. That's not even close.
We'll see. I think it'll be a much closer game than that, but we'll see.
Man, anything could happen.
Yeah, anything can happen any given Sunday. Look, the Jags, they beat the Bills.
I know.
So you never really know. Yeah. JV says, doesn't matter what the stats are, only stat that matters is wins. All right. That's something to live by, that's for sure.
That's true.
Let's see. So I guess we kind of talked about the Everson Griffin situation. Let me ask you this, and I'll answer this question as well. Who do you think will be the most impactful player this Sunday for your Vikings?
Ooh, offense or defense or just all around?
Well, first we'll do offense, and then the next question will be defense.
Offensive? Okay. Yeah. I think I gotta go with the chosen one right now. I think I gotta go with Justin Jefferson. If he can just continue here, that means Kirk, just throw those balls. But it seems like too, where the Randy Moss comparison kind of comes in, what we see a lot here is just like, Kirk, you just throw it in the vicinity. You just throw it in the vicinity of Justin Jefferson, he'll snag it. Because he makes some really amazing catches. Because sometimes Kirk's throws are like, homie, where are you throwing? Where are you throwing that ball to? Who are you throwing to there? So I'm going to say Justin Jefferson for offense for sure.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, he's definitely going to be a problem for this secondary. I know we've played well, these past, few games, but we haven't really seen a talent like a Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, like the combination of those two wide receivers.
Yeah.
I like our starting corner, Emmanuel Mosley. Josh Norman, he's definitely not in his prime anymore. But I don't know if you know this, probably not, because not too many people talk about it, but Josh Norman leads the league in forced fumbles. So he punches that ball out.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah. So he's got that peanut punch, and hopefully our other corners, follow his lead and attempt to do that, because turnovers are key. And that's another stat I was looking at for the Vikings. The Vikings are the best team in terms of giveaways. They play disciplined football. They only have 6 giveaways the entire season. 2 interceptions and 4 fumbles. So kudos to the Vikings. That's one thing. That's one thing they do very well.
Yep. I feel like this is foreshadowing now to some sort of forced bubble. I feel like
we'll see if Norman can do his thing. That's for sure.
Man, if he can, because sometimes even, Kirk and even Dalvin too. Like sometimes it's just like, you got to secure the ball.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I scream about that a lot.
Turnovers can flip a game. I've seen that. Niners fans have seen that firsthand. We dealt with interceptions from Jimmy. We've dealt with fumbles from some of our better players, but these past 2 games we've played our best. And let me answer that question though. Most impactful offensive player on Sunday for the 49ers. I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I could go with a lot of players. I could go with the best tight end in the NFL and George Kittle.
We always. I don't know why. How have we not mentioned George Kittle at all yet?
Yeah, so he was hurt. I think he missed at least 3 games. And that's been the knock on George Kittle. And it's not always his fault, because Jimmy G has what Jimmy G struggles with is his mechanics. Sometimes he throws the ball and it's too high. And whenever the ball is too high, the receiver has to jump up and get it, and that exposes the receiver to hits, unnecessary hits. And Kittle has definitely endured some of those hits due to Jimmy's, high throws.
Damn it, Jimmy! What the hell?
I know, but since Kittle has been back, he's been back the last. I think it's been the last 2 games or maybe 3 games. Okay. He's had consecutive touchdown catches. So Kittle is on fire. Jimmy G is finding him in that goal line situation. I could say Deebo Samuel, the Swiss Army knife. He can do it all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with. I could go with Jimmy G. That's my quarterback.
Ooh,
I could go
Jimmy
with him.
G.
I think I'm gonna go with Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell, 6th round draft pick. No one thought he would be the starting running back. He's had, I think, almost 600 rushing yards on the season. He's been the best playmaker outside of Deebo Samuel on this team. I'm
glad you mentioned him because I made a little note about him too in my notes. So
he's good. Now he has, injuries, right? He missed last week's game due to a broken finger. You kind of need all your fingers to, protect that ball.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah. He's been limited in practice so far this week. Hopefully he plays, but if he plays, I think he could be, one of the most impactful players because he's got that home run ability. He's very good as a rookie, and this offense really flourishes when he's in the lineup. That's for sure. So
right on.
I'm going to go with Elijah Mitchell. That's what I'm going to go with.
All right.
I got to say what's good to Puff. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Hopefully you're having a great Thanksgiving night. Yes. JV says, good luck to both San Francisco and Minnesota this Sunday, 2 of the nicest fan bases in the league. All right.
Oh, yeah, there was a stat about that. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, apparently, I know of the fan bases. I don't know where the vote was, where it came from, but that's actually a thing that just came out. I think Minnesota's number 2 and San Francisco, I can't remember, but they're up there too. For the nicest fan base, apparently.
Wow, I did not hear about that. But I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that. No problem with that. APW Sports. He is a Chicago Bears fan, so he is in that NFC North division with you. He says Kirk has been surprisingly better than I ever expected this year. The Vikings just lose too many close games. Yeah.
Yep. I would agree with those sentiments. Yes.
That's unfortunate. Now with Zimmerman, when is his contract up? Do you know offhand?
I think Zimmer, it's after this year.
After this year, okay.
Yeah, so, the headless horseman's waiting the call for Zimmer. He kind of dodged it these last couple of games because they've won. But up until then, it was pitchfork nation over here for Zimmer. Yeah, for sure.
You're saying this seat is hot.
Oh, yeah. Coming into this season, because this is year number 8 for Zimmer. And, man, I can't remember. His record against winning teams is not very good. I lost it in my notes here, but it's not good. Oh, he's I think 19-44 record against winning teams. So
that's not good at all.
No, and I like Zimmer too, but it's just dude, you're not getting it done here. It's not working.
Right. No, I would agree with that. He hasn't had too much playoff success, but I guess the Vikings have been relevant since he's been there. It's funny because Kyle Shanahan, he's only had 1 winning season in 4 years with the 49ers. Okay. The 2019 season, we went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And there was a section of fans who were saying, "Oh, Shanahan's lost it. Get rid of him." But he already signed a contract extension, so he technically he'll be with the team until 2025 unless they let him go.
Okay.
But I feel like we should keep Shanahan. In a few of his seasons that he's been here, the first season he had to rebuild the entire roster. It wasn't much talent there. And then the other seasons, Jimmy G, your starting quarterback, has gotten hurt.
Yeah.
And any coach who has their starting quarterback get hurt, you're not going to win many games. It's just
not good. So. Not unless you got Case Keenum. I got to throw Case Keenum in there. Stepping it up.
Didn't he take you guys to the NFC Championship?
Yes. He led us to a 13-3 season when our starting quarterback Sam Bradford went down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or if you got Nick Foles, you know, sometimes you luck out.
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles had Nick Foles, won a Super Bowl, but most of the time that doesn't happen.
No, for real. Yeah. That's why it's crazy. NFL gets wild.
It does, yeah. Livy's World, what's good? Thanks for your continued support, Livy's World. Hopefully you're having a great Thanksgiving night. Patty, what's good? Patty said 3 and out. Okay. Has that been a problem with the Vikings? Is that what Patty's saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the offense not being able to convert on third downs, or is that the defense can't get off the field on third down?
I think honestly, it's a little bit of both. I think it seems like after halftime, the defense too is just on the field a lot in the second half. And I know there was some stat too about I think Zimmer the Vikings led in losing the lead in the fourth quarter or some weird stat like that. So I think they just lose steam. She could also maybe be talking about like 3 in a row. Winning 3 in a row? I don't know, but I think it's more like the 3 and out offensively and defensively. Offensively, it is a big problem though. But in the last couple of games, they've been getting it together here, so we'll see if it continues.
Yeah, I would say the Niners. I think that's what we've been doing really well is offensively on third down. Jimmy G has made some great throws. He's made some great decisions throwing in tight windows. And the last 2 games, the first offensive drive, and granted, at the beginning of the year, we couldn't extend any drives. Like there were so many 3 and outs at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
The last 2 games, we've had great first drives where we're executing, we're converting on multiple third downs. I think at the game last week, we had the longest drive in the NFL since 2000. I think it was like 12 minutes, 18, 20 plays or something like that.
Really? Like for the NFL or for the 49ers? For the NFL,
NFL. That was one of the longest drives ever. And it just demoralizes the defense.
For sure. Yeah.
And you talk about a defense being tired. That's what happens, especially when one offense really controls the game and they're winning the time of possession. That's for sure. And I think, honestly, I think both teams want to do that. The Vikings want to run the ball. The Niners want to run the ball. We both want to win the time of possession. It'll be interesting to see because we both struggle against the run. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and Zim hasn't been that good with like clock management too, you know, and always taking the safe approach, but even taking the safe approach hasn't worked out necessarily. So it will definitely be interesting to see. And it's funny too, you mentioned how the 49ers, their first drives, they usually look amazing. The Vikings do that too. They've been doing that as well. They look really good, you know, in the first one, and then a lot of the time they fall flat right after that. So yeah.
Okay. So we'll see what gives. Because honestly, I think this game will be determined whoever I think can execute most on third down and who can run the ball. I think that's what it'll come down to. And of course, who protects the ball the most as well. Gotta say, what's good to Crazy Juice. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. I appreciate it. Everyone hit that thumbs up button. Let me and Jade know that you are enjoying the stream. And if you're interested in Jade and her Minnesota Vikings takes, make sure you check her out on social media. She's got Twitter, YouTube, and all those links are in the links of this video, or I should say in the description of this video. So make sure you check her out and you subscribe and follow. Crazy Juice also gives us his take on the game. He's got the Niners winning 27-24.
Oh my gosh, that's a close one there.
Another nail biter. That sounds like a game.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good one. I mean, that's what I always want in the games too, especially because leading into the season, I didn't think the Vikings were going to go do anything. And now that we're talking about playoffs, it makes it a little fun. So that's part of the fun, you know, up until the very end.
Absolutely. And JR Meadows, he says Nicky Bosa, aka the Disruptor, coming, 17 sacks coming up. Wow.
Oh boy.
Now Nick Bosa, he's coming off that torn ACL he suffered last year in week 2. So far this year, he has 10 sacks He's looking really good. What are your thoughts, and what have you seen out of left tackle Christian Darasa?
I was gonna mention. Yeah, I was gonna mention Christian Darasa. This is gonna be this. He's gonna have his work cut out for him for sure. For sure. I think I'm glad that you mentioned that because this is going to be something to definitely look out for as well. Yeah. We'll see if Darasa can hang. I mean, he's been looking okay, looking decent, but he's going to have his work cut out for him for sure. And this is, oh man, I don't know. I don't know the foreshadowing with the fumble. I don't know why I could see Kirk just going down with the ball coming out. I don't know.
Yeah, and that should be an interesting matchup because Darasa is protecting Kirk Cousins' blind side, and he won't necessarily see the rush coming around. And Nick Bosa, he's having a hell of a year. Yep. Also, we're getting D Ford back. We'll see what he can do, I'm sure in limited snaps. Also, Arden Key, I believe Arden Key has had 3 consecutive sacks in the last 3 games, I believe. So he's kind of heating up after a slow start. So obviously, quarterbacks work best when they have a clean pocket to work from. And that'll be another key matchup. Can the Vikings O-line protect Kirk Cousins? Do you know, I didn't ask you this before the show. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but you know how many times Kirk has been sacked this year?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I could definitely look it up quick, but
watching the O line, do you say that they protected Kirk pretty well so far this year?
Especially considering the offensive line woes within this team. And we got a different center in there too now the last couple of games as well because our starting center was on the COVID list. And I think we got a second-year center in there, something like that. Mason Cole now instead of Garrett Bradbury. So I will say that there are times where, yes, Kirk gets pressured for sure. But the majority of the time, like looking back, if I just like think of it right now, I will say that Kirk has time to throw the ball. A substantial amount of time.
And looking at his stats, I mean, he's got to have time, right? If he was under duress consistently, I don't think he'd be able to put up 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So
no, and that's one thing I've been very hard on Kirk, very hard on him. But the last couple of games specifically, he's been able to get the throw off while like getting tackled at the same time, which before, in the Latin seasons kind of before this, I really wouldn't see that happening. Just kind of cowering down and falling down. So that's good.
Absolutely. Crazy Juice says the Vikings should hide their bikes because Debo is coming to steal them.
No.
I gotta say, what's good to Jay? Jay says, I saw a hip lady. I saw you on John Jay's live stream.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What up, Jay? Mm-hmm. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely. Let's see. CG Ruthless Sports. What's good?
Yo.
Tuning into the stream, CG. Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Who do you think will be the most impactful Vikings defensive player on Sunday?
I'm going to have to go with Eric Kendricks on that one. He's just an all-around great player. He's always reliable. Knock on wood. Always reliable. Harrison Smith, our safety, just amazing safety, has been out the last before this game. He was just back, but he was out for 2 games due to COVID. And between him and Eric Kendricks, best defensive players, in my opinion. And Eric Kendricks always stepping it up. He's always I always call it, he's like the babysitter just coming in, to make sure everything's okay, cleaning everything up. So just great all around player, always solid. So I think Eric Kendricks, and he's a veteran, been around. Yeah. Zimmer likes him, trusts him. So I think he's going to be very important.
And I know together. There's no doubt. Kendricks, he's an excellent linebacker. I'm looking forward to him possibly matching up with George Kittle. I noticed Anthony Barr is on the injured list. Is he expected to play? Yeah.
He's been pretty much on the injured list every like injury report like every week since he's been back. He's got some, I believe it's a knee thing, like some sort of knee issue going on. I would expect him to play. I haven't really heard any rumblings about Anthony Barr being out. And I would imagine that if he has to sit out, rest that knee, especially, you know, if Everson is out too, that, you know, he's a veteran too. Zimmer really likes Anthony Barr a lot. So I think it'll be crucial for him to play, you know, if he can. But I think it's some sort of knee thing. I think it's like chronic kind of ongoing thing going on there.
Yeah, those knee issues are tough. We had a defensive lineman, a first-round draft pick out of last year, Javon Kinlaw. He had a chronic knee injury, and he's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those knee injuries are very tough to deal with. And hopefully Barr can recover in time for the game. And, you know, best of luck to him.
I feel like it would be weird if he didn't play, but, I mean, who knows? Things could take a turn. So
absolutely.
We need him to play, though.
As far as the 49ers defense, the first person that comes to mind who's been kind of like the hottest player so far is Jimmy Ward. You know, he had a 2-interception game versus the LA Rams on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that one was nuts. I was watching that. Yeah.
In front of the world. So
Jimmy
Ward's been playing lights out. I love what he brings to the team. You know, the veteran leadership. He knows where everyone needs to be lined up at. He's not known as a ball hawk safety, but, you know, he gets around the football. He makes tackles. Hey, and sometimes he can pick off some balls. So I think of Jimmy Ward. Of course, I think of the best linebacker in the NFL. I think of Fred Warner, of course. You know, he's a beast. He'll be meeting up, head up with Dalvin Cook on multiple occasions on Sunday. Definitely looking forward to that. But it starts in the trenches. And I'm looking forward to Nick Bosa. I'm looking forward to Nick Bosa, man. If he can get after Kirk Cousins, it's going to change this game.
And I think too, if the Niners put the pressure on Kirk right away, really rattle him up, he's been having difficulty kind of turning that around. He's done okay, you know, those last couple of games, but his history, you can really, because there's a confidence issue there, you know, with him too. So if you can really rattle him up, you know, get in his head, because, you know, at every time he runs to the bench, it's not like he's really running to the team and everything. He's running to his iPad. So I think that putting the pressure on early is key there.
There's no doubt that a quarterback works best from a clean pocket. I've seen it firsthand. Niners fans have seen it firsthand, especially with Jimmy G. When he gets pressured, he's not the same quarterback. When he has a clean pocket to throw from, which, you know, he's consistently had the last 2 games, we've seen the best Jimmy G. I think this last 3 games of Jimmy G has been the best stretch of his career. I think he's thrown for 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's not gaudy numbers, but he's just been really efficient, and he's been converting on 3rd downs. You know, the last 3 games, I believe we're at a 50% clip on offense on our 3rd down conversion. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that'll need to continue in order for, you know, the Niners to continue winning games.
Man, these teams sound so similar, especially with the quarterbacks too. With the quarterbacks, they sound so similar because people have been saying that Kirk's been playing his best, you know, of his career too as of late. So it's wild.
It'll be what gives, right? What gives.
Yep.
JV is giving his prediction. He's got the Niners winning 31-23. JV's a Vikings fan, right?
He's a Bears fan.
Oh, he's a Bears fan. Okay. I think he did say that. That. Sorry about that, JV.
Yeah.
David McNew has the 49ers winning 27-24. All right.
Man, it's all Niners here.
KD, what's good? He says, happy Thanksgiving. Same to you, KD. Hopefully you had a great Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Joseph Mahoney, what's good? He says, Day in the Bay, my man with the Niner plan. What's good?
Love it.
That's pretty good. So it's the moment we've all been waiting for after we've previewed the game, talked about some of the matchups, you know, like the Niners secondary against the Vikings wide receivers, both of our run defenses against the opposing team's run offense, Nick Bosa, you know, going up against Christian Darasa. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Now,
yeah.
Who wins on Sunday and why?
Oh my gosh, this one is so hard. It is so hard. Anybody that's familiar, I always look, I'm super into astrology. Jay, I think you know that a little bit about me, but so I always look at like the planets, what the planets are doing, because you can see how the game's gonna go. And I took a little peek at the planets for Sunday. So close. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm still learning with the planets, but especially with like the defense and, the defense just getting another knock. And with the Vikings, they've won 2 games. They're at 500. I want to see more. I've seen this before where they just like cripple after this. So it's so hard to choose. It is so hard to choose. And the Vikings offense, they're going to have to put up the points. They're seriously going to have to put up the points. And I didn't even write anything down as a prediction because it's going to be so close. It's so hard. I have a tough time picking the Vikings with this one just because I've seen them crumble before. I've seen them crumble after doing well. But I also am like, well, they have all this momentum. They're down and out. Like Zimmer loves being the underdog. Loves it. Absolutely loves it. Man, do I have to pick? I mean, I'll pick.
Yep. Gotta pick.
Man, I'm going to say 30-27. And it's so hard. I'm probably going to go back and forth so many times. I'm going to say 30-27. I could see it going either way. I'm going to pick the purple just because I'm going to be purple positive. But another thing too, but I think Kyle Shanahan knows him very well. So that also is going to be a purple problem. It's going to be tough. I could see it going either way, to be honest with you, but I'll say 30-27 Vikings because I have to pick, but it's so hard.
There's no doubt. It's going to be a close game. And speaking of close games, I'm going to pull up the Vikings schedule. I didn't realize the last 2 games you won at home against Green Bay and at the LA Chargers. Those are two pretty good teams, 2 very talented teams. Both of the Niners and Vikings were both on a 2-game winning streak. I forgot that Shanahan and Kirk Cousins, they were buddies in Washington. They know each other real well.
Besties.
So hey, maybe Shanahan knows Kirk Cousins' tendencies, what he likes to do. That could come into play. But of course, I like my Niners to win this Sunday. I think it'll come down to both teams love to run the ball. And both run defenses have struggled so far this year. Also, third down conversions will be key. The Niners have done pretty well the last few games at converting third downs on the offensive side of the ball. I believe I was looking, and the Vikings are doing pretty well as well on offense. I know on defense they kind of struggle to get off the field, and the Niners have too. So, but I like the Niners' chances. We're on a 2-game winning streak. You guys are on a 2-game winning streak. I think it's going to be a really close game. But I'm taking the faithful, the Niner Empire. I'm taking the Niners to win 31-27.
Oh, man. Similar predictions there. That's crazy how that panned out. Yeah.
I think it's going to be really, really close. But I don't think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think both teams are going to have to score. And I think it's going to be like in the high 20s, something like that. Maybe a team gets 30. But
I think quarterbacks are going to be key here too. I mean, honestly, really, I think it's like between Jimmy G and Kirk too, because they are so comparable actually. Yeah. And it's like, if you guys still want to trade, I'd be down for that. But it's like, who's going to put up or shut up here? And I don't know. I just think that Jimmy G seems to have a lot more grit than Kirk. He seems, I don't know. That's just, I could be wrong. Prove me wrong, Kirk. Prove me wrong. But
it's funny because both quarterbacks are playing their best right now. So we'll see what gives. But I'm definitely looking forward to this game. And of course, you will be doing a live stream during the game, right? Okay, cool. Yep. So I have to come in say what's
good. Definitely pop through. Everybody pop through if you want.
Absolutely. SF says she makes me want to be a Vikings fan. LOL. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless and Godspeed. Shout out Minnesota. May the best team win. Cheers. Double J. Toast to you. Good night. And go Niners. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, that was nice. Awesome. Happy Thanksgiving.
Joseph gives us his prediction. He's got the 49ers winning 34-20. All right.
Yeah. There we go.
KD offers his prediction. He's got the 49ers winning 31-21. Okay.
The early 30s seem to be the popular pick here for the numbers.
I think we've scored 30 points in the last two games. Yeah, 30 against Jacksonville and 30 against the Rams. So
and you guys have been putting out the teams that, like, unlike the Vikings, it's not these little close victories. I think have they been, like 10-point victories those last couple of games for you guys?
Yeah. Well, the Jacksonville game was 20 points. And the Rams game, I think it was at least 2 possessions. I think we won by at least double figures. So, you're right. We have been putting teams away. David says, I think the Vikings kicker misses one.
No.
49ers.
27 no more of that. I don't think Vikings fans can take any more of that at this point with the missed kicks.
That's pretty funny. Now let's talk about something that I've been asking other content creators about their teams. This is an interesting question. It talks about, the history of the team that you root for.
Yeah.
And I'd love to know who is on your Minnesota Vikings Mount Rushmore of all-time players. So give me 4. We can do 2 lists. We could do 4 all-time Vikes, and then we could do 4 of the last 20 years, if you like.
My gosh. Okay. Well, I think my 4 definitely that I picked, they're in the last like 20 years for sure. Because I'm in my early 30s. So, it's been that long being a fan. But for sure, Randy Moss. I mean, obviously. I mean, Randy Moss, obviously, right here. Hello. So Randy Moss. And then John Randall, I put in there. Love Johnny Randall, really solid player. Remember him growing up, always being a playmaker. And then, these are a couple of, picks that are a little bit different. But I'm putting Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs on there because,
really?
In my lifetime, they gave me the best Minnesota Vikings moment, the Minneapolis Miracle. So I'm putting them on there because of that.
Speaking of that miracle, is that like, besides the Super Bowl victories, is that like one of the greatest moments in Vikings history, like easily of the last 20 years?
Well, I mean, being that the Vikings have never won a Super Bowl. And
they haven't?
No.
I thought they had the Purple People Eaters. I guess I just assumed they had at least one in the 70s.
No, they've been to 4, but they've lost all 4. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. So we have yet to win a Super Bowl. So that's why I'm just like, I want changes with this team because I'm sick of the mediocrity.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Okay, let me bring up a name. Chris Carter?
Oh, yeah. Love CC. Love some Chris Carter. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. And I wrote down other ones too. I mean, Adrian Peterson, like Jared Allen, Carl Eller, Alan Page, like Fran Tarkenton, there's a lot. There's so many.
There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of talent to go along that Minnesota Vikings team, no doubt.
Yeah.
And KD said, what about Carter? Yep.
Chris Carter for sure. Yep.
Mauro Tanaka, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. He says, better win, Jay. He says the Cardinals are 3-0 versus the Vikings and Niners. The Cardinals beat the Vikings this year?
Yep.
And
that was one where I think our kicker missed to win for us this year. That was one of the close ones. It's like, well, yeah, it still counts as a loss. That's a big thing with the Minnesota too. Is oh well, we came so close to win. It's like, well, at the end of the day, you didn't win the game. You didn't win the game though. So
yeah. You kickers are very important, especially in those key moments. Look at the game today, the Raiders and Cowboys. The Raiders kicker
Also, Danielle Carlson, he used to be a Minnesota Viking, and then the Minnesota Vikings, they cut him because he missed like 2 or 3 kicks in a game versus Green Bay. So Danielle Carlson used to be a Minnesota Viking, the kicker for the Raiders.
and then he makes the winning field goal for the Raiders. So
I know. It's just just seeing a former Viking thrive when they didn't do anything here. It's just so purple. It just so is.
That's funny. And Morrow says the Vikings should have won, to be honest. He even gives the Vikings props. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Luke Zach Football. What's good? He says big game for both teams. Yes. Absolutely. I agree with you. Because these are two teams that are vying for, a playoff position, a wild card. And honestly, even if whoever loses, I think it's still in the hunt.
I think so.
I believe there's 4 teams in the NFC who are vying for a playoff position or a playoff wild card, and they all have the same record. So
I think it's our 2 teams, and then I think it was the Saints, but they're probably losing. They're losing, right? So
I think they lost to the Bills tonight.
Yeah,
and then they got blown out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was the last time that I checked, kind of before we started here, so it was pretty bad. Yeah.
Before we went live, I think it was like 24-0 the Saints. So, sorry, 24-0 the Bills. Yeah.
24. Well, Jared Allen's my fantasy football quarterback. Nobody cares, but I mean, good for me. So.
Yeah, I'm looking on ESPN right now. The Bills won 31-6 against the Saints.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yep.
That helps us. Luke
Go
Zach
Bills
Football.
Mafia. Mm-hmm.
Luke Zach Football says, I just finished watching the Saints game, and I'm like, why did the Saints not make a push for Jimmy G? Because Jimmy G, that's my quarterback. That's why. And Shanahan's not going to trade Jimmy G unless, the Saints offer like 2 first-round picks. Give us an offer we can't refuse. And but I
thought that they weren't like getting along there, like Shanahan and Jimmy G, or was that just like a weird like rumor?
Well, I would say, there's been a lot of speculation. I mean, this could be a long answer. I don't know if you want me to answer this.
Okay.
But Shanahan, unfortunately, Jimmy G has not been consistent with his availability. He's had a torn ACL in 2018. Yep. He missed the entire 2020, well, not the entire, but majority of the 2020 season. So, he hasn't been available, and the best ability is availability.
Yes.
Also, it doesn't seem like Shanahan trusts Jimmy G to throw the ball downfield, and that's something that a lot of 49er fans have said. Hey, you got to open the playbook. Yep. You can't just have teams put 8 guys in the box and worry about the run. You got to be able to throw the ball deep to open up, the defense or whatever. So
that's been a thing with Zimmer and Kirk too, actually, and just letting him launch it. That's been a point of contention. Yeah. Yeah,
and it seems like I don't know if Shanahan doesn't trust Jimmy, or Jimmy, I don't know what it is, because Jimmy, all he can do is run the play that's called, and so there's definitely been friction there, that's for sure.
Does Jimmy G call the audible at all? Because Kirk doesn't do that. There was a whole big thing too the last couple of weeks. Like Kirk doesn't do that, or he just says, "Well, I mean, Kirk kind of just does the whole thing of like, well, I just get told what to do, and then I do it."
Yeah. I think quarterbacks should have the ability to call an audible, and I believe what Shanahan does is he gives Jimmy 2 plays in the huddle, and Jimmy will survey the defense. And based on what he sees, he'll keep the same play. It could be a run play. It could be a pass play. Or if the defense is giving him a look that is beneficial to the second play call, then he'll audible to the second play. So Kirk Cousins, with the amount of dollars he gets paid, he should be able to audible. He should be able to look at a defense and say, hey, I think we should do this play instead of that play,
he doesn't do that. So that's another issue. So anyway.
That's my quarterback.
Love it.
That's funny, Joseph. Kimbo, he says, let's go 49ers fan. Happy Thanksgiving for everyone. Same to you, Kimbo. Well, we've reached an hour. I've had a blast having you on. I can't wait to jump on your stream, say what's up to the people in the chat on Sunday during the game.
Yes,
but for those that don't know, Jade, tell future subscribers, followers what they can expect from your Twitter and your YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's where you can mainly find me. Both names are the same on Twitter and YouTube. It's at a hip lady, but yeah, I go by Jade. And I live stream all the Vikings games. I do a little Wolves Wednesday, Timberwolves Wednesday, some NBA talk. And yeah, mainly Minnesota Vikings chatter over on my YouTube channel. But I like to kind of, spread it around and stay, on top of all Minnesota sports stuff and just the sports in general. But yeah, come check it out and looking to live stream more. I usually do live streams as well on Thursday Night Football. But yeah, you can find me Twitter and YouTube at a hip lady. And I'm working on my Twitch. I haven't done anything on Twitch, but I'm Skeptical Skoler Jade over on Twitch. If anybody's on Twitch, it's been a minute since I've been over there, but mainly Twitter and YouTube. Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's been a blast having you on. I would say good luck as far as health.
Yeah.
For your team, the Minnesota Vikings, this Sunday. Of course, I want us to
Likewise.
win. But you have a great rest of your Thanksgiving night. And tomorrow is a payday Friday. It ain't nothing better than a payday Friday. So have a good rest of your weekend. And thanks for tuning in. Or excuse me, thanks for joining me on Jade in the Bay.
Thanks for having me on, Jay. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And good luck in the rest of your streams, because you are a busy YouTuber.
Thank you. Yeah. No, you are too. Yeah. You know how it goes. Yep. We're just doing the thing over here. So you too. Yep. Yeah. Onward and upward for sure.
Absolutely. And that's the fun part of when I started doing YouTube. I didn't really take that into consideration, but when you're playing against another team, you can collab with that team's fan base. So it's one of the underrated aspects of being a YouTuber. But I enjoy it. And
same here.
Good luck on Sunday. So
yeah, you too. Good luck, and hopefully everybody stays healthy and it's a good game.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you take it easy. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that was a hip lady. Make sure you check her out on Twitter, YouTube. All her social media info is in the links of this video in the description. Make sure you check her out. We had a blast talking about the 49ers and Vikings game. This is going to be, a close matchup between two competitive teams. Both teams are 5-5, looking for a wild card spot in the playoffs. So this is going to be a hell of a game. But let's continue on with these comments. Let's see. Summer Home says, great show. I appreciate the kind words, Summer Home. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like, subscribe to Jay in the Bay, and also check out Jade as well if you haven't already. The Remilia Sports Report, what's good? Happy Thanksgiving. Right back at you, brother. He says, happy Thanksgiving, my Niner brother at Jay in the Bay. Good luck Sunday. Hey, I appreciate it. Same to you guys. You guys just had a bye week, and you play the Packers this Sunday, I believe. So good luck to you guys. Hopefully you guys stay healthy, man. David says, go Niners. Absolutely. Payo Time. What's good? Thanks for tuning in, Payo Time, man. He says, hello. Just got home from soccer, man. I appreciate you coming through. He says, watching the replay. Absolutely, man. He says, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Payo Time, man. I appreciate you coming through. And I appreciate you watching that replay. Shout out to everyone who was in the chat today. Had a blast. And shout out to everyone on Jay in the Bay Facebook, Jay in the Bay YouTube, Jay in the Bay Twitter. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to the stream. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to Jay in the Bay. I will be having a pregame live stream, Vikings and 49ers. Most likely, it'll probably start at about 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. And then, of course, I'll have the post-game live stream as well. Hopefully, you guys can tune in to that. Let's see. Joseph says, great show. Happy Thanksgiving. Brother, stay safe. Appreciate the kind words. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Joseph. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. I appreciate your support, man. And I think I'm gonna call it a night. Everyone have a great rest of your week. Looking forward to the Niner game. Like I said before, I think the Niners will win this game 31 to 27. Looking forward to the game. Hopefully we can get our second win in a row at Levi Stadium and our third straight win overall. So looking forward to the game. And I will see you guys this weekend on Sunday. And of course, if there's any other breaking 49er news, y'all know you can tune in to Jay in the Bay. Absolutely. So I will see you guys in the next either breaking news video or hell, maybe another live stream. We'll see. But you guys have a great rest of your Thanksgiving night. And thanks for watching your boy, Jay in the Bay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Niners.